Hello and welcome back to Calm AF. This is episode 322. I'm Kristen Finch, and today we're going to talk about 7 ways that you can be the ultimate motivator, the best leader, and help everyone around you become the best versions of themselves, just like you do for yourself. We're going to talk about how to be that person, that exceptional leader that everybody loves working with, the best partner, the ultimate parent, the friend everyone wishes they had. I want to teach you how to become the kind of person who gets the best out of everyone around you. Because you already know how to do this. You already know what works. You use it on yourself every single day. You push yourself, you nudge yourself, you sometimes manipulate yourself. And let's face it, you have gotten pretty far. You've gotten a lot of success in your life. So today, what we're going to talk about is how to extend those superpowers, the way you lead yourself, to everyone else in your life. Because if you really want to be a good friend, a good partner, a good parent, a good leader, then you want to show up for the people around you exactly how you show up and lead yourself, right? You want them to succeed as much as you want yourself to succeed. So in this episode, we're going to talk about 7 ways that you can really get the best out of the people around you that you love, that you care about, just like you do for yourself. So let's dive in. Okay, so these are the exact tactics that you already use on yourself every day. I know this because I have been working with high performers for a very long time. This is the inner monologue, the tough love, the constant measuring up that you use on yourself. And if it's good enough for you, then it's good enough for them. So let's talk about these 7 strategies. Number 1, when someone is down, make sure you keep them there. A lot of times they say when someone is struggling, or if you see someone that's having a rough time, what you do is you encourage them, you lift them up, you help support them. Wrong. As you know, growth only happens when people hit rock bottom, and then you keep them there. You push their head down into the gravel and make sure they stay there, because that is when people really start to get motivated, when they are down and someone keeps them there. So when you find someone who is really doubting themselves, having a rough time, don't encourage them. Don't remind them of like, oh, you're going to be okay. No, you need to say things like, yep, I guess this is just what you do, isn't it? Or tell them something like, if we're being real, maybe you're just not cut out for this. Maybe you just can't do this. Or maybe you should just give up. You need to let people earn the right to believe in themselves through their achievements, not just to believe in themselves. If it works on you, it'll work on them. Number 2, don't offer compassion. Compassion is for babies. These people, they're adults. You're an adult. Adults need accountability. Or maybe another way to say it, adults need shame to motivate them. So when someone messes up, make sure you are telling them how disappointed you are in them, how you really expected more out of them, and like this is going to be really hard for them to come back from. Just make sure you're not offering them compassion. You don't want them thinking that mistakes are okay, that there's some like part of growth or learning that they make mistakes. No, you want them, when they make a mistake, to feel so bad that shame just seethes in their soul so bad that they will never, ever make another mistake again. Let guilt be the teacher. Let fear be the fuel. That is the way to lead. Number 3, withhold love, withhold praise, withhold rewards until they have earned it through achievement. People need to know that you are not just throwing out support or throwing out love or attention or affection just for anything. It's not a reward. Okay? So don't tell people, I'm so proud of you. If they're just trying, don't use that unless there is a tangible achievement until they have achieved the thing. Then you can be proud of them. Then you can offer them that sort of a reward. You don't want to give them support like, oh, you need a hug. That's confusing. And definitely don't use words like, grace or compassion. That just makes them soft. And soft is not how we achieve things. Instead, what you need to do is let them know that you will show up with praise and love and affection once they have proven themselves through the tangible achievement, through crossing the finish line, just like you do with yourself. Earned love is the most motivating kind of love. It keeps people really inspired, right? Number 4, make sure you're always keeping score. I need you to have a running list that you keep of every single time they have ever let you down, every time they've made a mistake, every time they failed, every time they said they were going to do something and they didn't. You need to keep a list of all of the things that they've done wrong. And I need you to bring it up all the time. Bring it up as often, at least once a day, probably more, especially when they're trying something new that they're feeling a little uncertain about, especially when they're just having a rough time. That's when you really want to bring out this list. People need reminders of all of their past failures to stay humble. They need reminders to keep them from getting too confident, right? We don't want people just being confident for no reason, because confidence leads to complacency. People, when people feel confident, they aren't doing things. They aren't hustling for approval. You need to remind them of their lowest moments. And, no matter how far they've already come, you need to make sure that you are telling them how far they still have to go. Don't be too cocky. You still have a long, long, long way to go. That's how you get real results. Number 5, never let them forget about all the other people who are doing it better than them. Comparison really is the key to success. Making sure that you are looking around at what everyone else around you is doing and comparing yourself to them. That is what keeps you motivated, right? So if someone around you, someone you love or someone that works for you, anyone, if someone is feeling proud of something that they've done, something on their journey, just casually mention a few people who are further ahead than they are, right? When someone accomplishes something, make sure you bring up another person or a group of people, anyone who did it faster than them or who seemed like they just did a better job. You want to keep people really chasing other people, really stuck in that comparison, right? Because if they ever feel satisfied, if they're like, oh yeah, I don't need to worry about what everyone else is doing. I need to just focus on my own lane. They might stop hustling. They might stop really working so hard for other people's approval. And that is no way to be your best self, right? Number 6, be absolutely unavailable when they need support the most. It's called tough love. You do not want to be too encouraging. You need to really let people sit in suffering. And if you can, even up it a little bit, especially when they're scared or when they're really grieving, or when they're really, really doubting themselves, when that is how they're showing up, that's when you really need to back off, be distant, be cold. You want to make sure that they know that you're not here to support them. That's not going to help them get out of this hole by encouraging them. You need to, again, you're there to keep them down in their suffering until they finally break apart or break through. I don't know which one it is. It's just like you do to yourself every day. And number 7, make sure you are only celebrating getting to the final destination. We're only celebrating huge wins. These little wins like, oh, look at how, you took a tiny baby step. That's for kindergartners. You need to only be acknowledging full-blown first place gold medal finishes. So somebody has a hard time speaking up and, sharing their ideas in a group of people, and they spoke up in a meeting for the first time. Yay, great. Try doing it in every meeting, and then we'll talk. Or if someone tries something new that they've been really wanting to do and they fail, or they just don't get it right, you just tell them, right? We'll try not failing next time. Then we'll celebrate that you tried. You need to only recognize A+, perfect finishes. You need to only reward exceptional achievements. That is how people grow, by being deprived of praise or encouragement or celebration until they have flawlessly achieved whatever it is they need to achieve. They'll thank you later, okay? Or maybe they won't because they'll be in therapy, but still, only celebrate big wins. Okay, so that's it. Those are the 7 ways that you can really help people reach their potential, right? This is the 7 ways that you talk to yourself, you treat yourself in order for you to reach your full potential. And you did not get to where you are without a healthy dose of this self-loathing, hypercriticism, micromanaging every little thing. If it works for you, then this is what you should be doing for the people around you, right? But here's the thing. If you're not doing that right now, if you are not leading others using these 7 strategies the same way you lead yourself, then something's off. Either you're setting yourself up for failure, really believing that you need to be pushed and punished in order to grow or achieve, or you are setting up the people you love and that you care for failure because you aren't using those same strategies on them. So either way is fine, but which is it? Which one is it? Are you hypercritical and super hard on everyone or on no one? You just have to decide which way is it going to be. Be in integrity. If you really believe that shaming and criticizing and pushing yourself harder is the best way to lead yourself, it's the only way to succeed, then be honest about why you're not leading the people around you in the same way. Because if you are right now kind and compassionate and understanding and inspiring and supportive of them, but not of yourself, then you are out of integrity. That is not what you believe is the right way to lead, unless maybe you do know that there's a better way. Maybe you know that you actually are way more motivated when the person you're being led by is kind and supportive and encouraging instead of shaming and fear-based. Which means if that's true, if you know that that's actually more true, that, you can achieve great things without the self-sabotage, then all that means is that at this point, you're just following an old lazy pattern. You have an old pattern that is just running the show, an old story that is keeping you exhausted and burnt out. Maybe that's the truth. Now, listen, I have worked with, over the years, probably hundreds of high performers. And if I had to put a percentage on it, I would say at least 75% of their burnout is self-induced. Yes, even the people who have demanding jobs, demanding bosses, demanding deadlines, I still say 3/4 of their burnout is coming from inside the house. And oftentimes when I suggest that, I say, hey, how would it feel if you weren't yes, you have a lot of work and a demanding job, but if you weren't also being so awful to yourself, maybe that would feel better. They will fight me on it because oftentimes high performers really believe their stories. They really believe their thoughts. They are so committed to convincing me that they have to be hard on themselves, that if they stop using these 7 strategies, they are going to lose everything. They're going to lose their jobs, lose their incomes, lose their homes, lose their families. If they aren't beating themselves up, they're going to be giving up. Those are their only 2 options. That's what they believe. But there's a third option. It's in between the hypervigilance, beating yourself up, and hypovigilance, just shutting down and not being able to do anything. It's this third option. We call it regulated. We call it calm AF. In this place, you can motivate yourself the same way you really motivate other people, by believing in yourself, where you stop holding yourself to these ridiculous, impossible standards because you know that that is the actual thing that makes everything harder to achieve. You could achieve all of the things you're achieving without beating yourself up. If you led yourself the same way you lead others, by believing in them, offering grace and compassion, then you know that's actually a way better strategy. You have to change how you lead yourself, how you talk to yourself, how you treat yourself. Less cruelty and more compassion, less punishment and more belief in yourself. The way to do that, you have to let go of that old lazy pattern, that old story that's running the show. And how you do that is you have to be able to access your frontal lobe, because your frontal lobe already knows. How do I know it already knows? Because it's the way you're already treating everybody else. The right way. The more inspiring and encouraging way. It already knows. It's just your nervous system blocks it. Your nervous system is like, But how did we get here? We got here by beating ourselves up, being hard on ourselves, having no compassion, comparing ourselves to everyone. That's how we got here. The truth is, it's how you got here maybe, but it's definitely what's keeping you from getting into that next level, that upgraded version of yourself. The first thing you need to do in order to be able to access your frontal lobe and rewire your stories, nervous system first. Always, always, always. You need to learn how to rewire, recalibrate your nervous system. Now, if you don't know how to do that, there's like 300 and some episodes, but you can go and listen to the secret podcast, the secret private podcast, From Hyperachiever to High Performer. That is where I really break down this nervous system first concept. And when you are ready to change that old pattern for good, like a true high performer with coaching, the upgrade is a really great place to start. The link for both of these, the private podcast and the upgrade, is in the show notes. All right. Thank you for listening. Start being in integrity. Start changing that old, tired pattern from leading through fear into leading the way you know actually works, from compassion and belief. That's what works. It's time to change your strategies. All right. I'll see you next time.